Hi, good day everyone. This is our presentation of Group 5 on how to assemble and disassemble a computer. So sit back, relax, and learn.
So here are the tools needed for disassembling and assembling a PC. A magnetic screwdriver set, needle nose plier, anti-static wrap, tweezers, and a brush. And also, here are the safety precautions. Number 1. Static electricity is not your friend. Number 2. Never remove components while the computer is powered on or plugged in. Number 3. Never cut off or snap off the grounding pin. Number 4. Watch out for sharp edges inside a case. Number 5. Do not dismantle PSU, monitors, or anything that may retain an electrical charge. And lastly, take your time. Ensure you can safely leave your mess for a day or two if needed.
First step is detach the cable, turn off the computer, unplug the power cord, and unplug any peripheral items attached to the computer, such as the keyboard, mouse, monitor, headphones, and any external drives. Wear a grounding strap or attach an unpainted metal part of the computer to discharge any static electricity. If you walk across the carpet at any point, touch an unpainted metal part of the computer again to discharge the belt of static electricity.
Second step, remove the cover. The standard way of removing tower cases used to be to undo the screws on the back of the case. Slide the cover about an inch and lift it off. The screwdrivers, as per the type of screw, are required to do the task.
3 step is disconnect connectors. Disconnect all the connectors, then remove any card readers and internal DVD players. These are usually screwed into place.
Fourth step is remove the standalone fonts. This is a good time to remove any dust, lint, and pet hair from the fonts if you're planning on reusing them.
Fifth step is remove the storage drive. Disconnect the cables and remove the storage drive. Generally, storage drives are held in place by multiple screws. If you have a hard drive, be gentle when moving the drive as hard bumps can damage the internal parts.
Six steps is remove memory RAM module. Remove the memory RAM modules by pushing the clips on the butt ends of the module down. This will cause the module to pop up for easy removal. Do not touch the gold connectors and the chips if you're reusing the modules and if you're not reusing the RAM.
Seventh step is remove power supply. Remove the power supply unit by unplugging the remaining connectors, then unscrewing the unit from the frame.
Eighth step is remove other motherboard, adapter or expansion card. Remove any adapter or expansion cards from the motherboard. Although these cards usually slide into pre-configured slots, there can be screws. Do not touch the gold connectors on the cards if you're installing the cards.
And lastly, remove the motherboard. Disconnect all the cables from the motherboard, then unscrew it from the frame by loosening each screw a little bit before going around again to loosen each screw properly. This prevents any potential warping of the motherboard by gradually releasing the tension on it. All the components should now be out of the computer case. If you're using the case, this is a good time to get rid of all the dust and lint that might have collected.
First step is procuring parts. First, you will need to buy the parts necessary to build the computer, like processor or CPU, computer case, optical drive, memory or RAM, power supply, SATA cables, motherboard, processor fan, case fan, and hard drive.
Second step is gather tools and supplies. Gather the tools you will need for the project.
Third step is open the case. Open the computer case by removing the side panels. Find the screws that hold the side panels in place and remove them. The panels is removed by the first sliding it back, then lifting it away from the case.
Fourth step is prepare the case for assembly.
5 step is ground yourself. Put the grounding strap on your wrist and connect the other end to the computer case. If your strap is not equipped with a clip to hook to the case, find a place to wedge against the metal as shown in figure 11. This will prevent any buildup of static electricity on your body from damaging the computer component.
Step 6 is install the motherboard. Install the input-output bezel plate into the opening in the back of the case. It pushes in from the inside. Install standoffs in the case. The standoff screw in the motherboard mounting hole shown in figure 14. Check the screw hole locations on the motherboard for exact placement. Lower the motherboard into the case and align with the input-output bezel. Then install the screws.
Seventh step is install the hard drive. Slide the drive into place until the screw holes on the sides are lined up with the holes in the case.
Eighth step is install the optical drive. Slide the drive into the drive bay until the screw holes are lined up and the front of the drive is flush with the front of the case. Figure 18. Make sure that is oriented correctly. Install the screws.
9 step is install the CPU. Find the camera marking that designates pin 1 of the CPU. On this AMD brand processor, the camera is marked with an arrow. Consult the manufacturer's documentation for specific information about your processor. Lift the small metal rod next to the sucker as shown in figure 20. Find the corresponding marking on the CPU socket and insert the CPU so that markings are lined up. Push the rod down to lock the processor in place.
10th step is install the RAM. Set the RAM board in the socket. Check to see that the notch in the board is in the correct location. If it is not, turn it around 180 degrees. Press firmly on both ends of the board to set into the socket. Make sure the tabs lock into place.
11th step is install the CPU fan. Place thermal compound on the CPU following the instructions provided with the compound. Set the fan assembly on the CPU with mounting tabs aligned. Pull the locking rod down on the CPU assembly to lock into place. Connect the fan assembly's power connector to the motherboard. Consult the manual to determine proper placement.
12th step is install the case fan. Align the mounting holes by holding the fan to the mounting pad on the inside of the case as shown in figure 25. The fan needs to be mounted so that it blows air out of the case. Insert the screws from the outside of the case and tighten.
13th step is install the power supply. Align the mounting holes in the case and power supply. Insert screws and tighten.
14th step is connect cables. With all of the components installed in the case, the jungle of wires can be daunting. It is important to consult the motherboard manual in order to make sure proper connections are made. There are two kinds of connections, power and data. Every device that has been installed needs power. In figure 27, the power supply connectors are shown. The motherboard has two power connections, and there are two connectors specifically for SATA devices or drives. The other connectors will run fans and other non-SATA devices.
15th step is wrap up. Now that the components are completely installed, the last thing to do is to reinstall the side panels on the case. The computer is now ready to be turned on and to have software loaded on it. If the computer has problems starting up, check all components, connection, and mounting to make sure that you have hooked everything up correctly. Consult individual components manuals for specific troubleshooting information if problems persist.
And that's all for today's video. We hope you learn on how to assemble and disassemble a system unit by watching this video. Thank you everyone for watching. Bye!